Hey guys, Seek the Geek here, back with another video. It's been a very long time. I've been super busy with work and dealing with other IRL stuff that I haven't done any videos. I think I have a bunch of videos from months ago that I haven't uploaded yet that I need to do that for, and I apologize. If those go up late, it's like simply forgot and got too busy. I'm gonna try to do that before this one or after this one. This one's kind of important because this one's gonna lead to another new section for my channel of TCGs that I've played over the years. This is the next one that I'm fairly interested in, which is Neuroscape TCG. You may have heard of it, you might not have heard of it. Reason why I'm doing the video now, not just because I'm going to be playing the game potentially in the near future, but I went to an event for this game. It was the pre-release weekend. Release weekend. I probably heard me mention this game. It was out on Kickstarter earlier this year, March, April, somewhere around there. So I've known about this game since then. I've already had cards for this game since then, but this is the official worldwide, I think, global release. Was this weekend, August 22nd through the 23rd. Also worth mentioning, this was actually a Riftbound event. It was a Riftbound regional that was held by Nerd Rage Gaming. They also had a 5K on Sunday, but there was some people who work for NRG who were running Neuroscape, and it looks like Nerd Rage Gaming is going to be an official supporter of the game, so that's nice to know. That at least one big TCG hobby store company is going to be supporting the game moving forward. That's what all new TCGs need, is someone supporting it at the hobby store level who can get the word out, do their own advertising for the game. Please make the game feel like it's a big thing, it's special. Altered couldn't even do that, as much as I hate to admit it and say it, but yeah, Altered kind of failed with that too, is getting the hobby stores really interested in it. I'm not even sure if any stores at times even supported Altered, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, so I went to both events, both days. They had a regular sealed pre-release on Saturday. Then they had a slightly higher tier competitive sealed event for like promo cards. I walked away with like 6 promo cards. Gosh, I already put them away, but I got the signed Overload that has a blue and red signature on it. It's like a Gen Con event promo. Apparently, there's only like 500 of those out. I have 2 of them now. And I want to say I want to have a full playset of the other Protocol promo. I don't remember the name of it offhand, but I think I have 4 of those now too. Actually, trying to see if I can find it. Oh, I also got 2 Iron Maidens that are also signed by the devs. Simulated Solace was the name of the card. Yeah, I have a playset of those. The promo foil. Very similar to Solemn Simulacrum, aka Sad Robot from Magic the Gathering. Even almost kind of looks the same. People are going to be calling it that. I don't know the name of a lot of these cards, so I've just been nicknaming them this entire time. That is inherently just easier than calling them what their actual name is, just nicknaming them. So yeah, they had a bunch of events. This is actually NRG's page. You see the events here. I was in all 4 of these. Definitely had to spend a lot of money, but it was worth it. I essentially ended up with like a whole box worth of cards from all the sealed events and the packs I got from winning games or matches, and the packs that were just inherently given out for playing or placement. I think I got probably somewhere between 24 to 30 packs across the weekend. But yeah, a very fun game. The people who were there, it wasn't like a super big event. I'm pretty sure our event capped at around 8 people. but still, that's very, very good for like a brand new game. I think when I went to other hobby stores for all TCG, we had less people than that. I think we usually topped out at around like four to six. So Neuroscape getting 8 is still a lot better than what Altered was doing. Um, Also, they were running learn to play demos the entire day, and there was constantly people there who were very genuinely interested in the game and wanted to learn how to play, which is also a very good sign. A lot of Alter wasn't doing that either. I don't think people were like super interested to learn to play Altered because Altered has like a huge board setup and all that other stuff. Neuroscape is definitely a more condensed, typical TCG experience, very similar to Magic. I'm gonna get to that in a second. But yeah, they already got their event page set up, which is almost the same as the Riftbound one and Lorcana's one. I think this is like Card IO's back end that any TCG can get into, so they already have this set up, and of course their card gallery. They have this as well, which I think is very nice because I don't even think Lorcana and Riftbound has this set up just yet. Although Lorcana has their app, Riftbound has their website, but having it on the thing is a little bit better. You know, there's a lot less cards for Neuroscape. They're only on set 1. And yeah, you can see all the different cards. So, my opinion on the game has changed ever so slightly. When the game first announced, and even when the Kickstarter came out, I was very skeptical. I was very skeptical that I didn't think the game would have a strong of a launch. It seemed very small scale, very condensed. I wasn't even sure if it was going to beat Altered at the time. What else? I think that a lot of people, once they finally got out to Gen Con, the exposure really picked up for the game because I think a lot of people really didn't know about it, and it's still hard to believe a lot of people don't look at Kickstarter or get Kickstarter ads or see things from Kickstarter. That seems impossible these days, but apparently a lot of people do stay offline a lot, and we're simply just not aware of this game or any new game coming out, like the actual Cyberpunk TCG that's coming out eventually, or even Cyberpunk Legends, the CCG. People really weren't aware of this game at all until Gen Con or even the event today or any other events going on around the world. Release events, pre-release events, any other promotional events that are going on that I'm not aware of. Just a ton of events across the board. And that's what a game needs to get the exposure, the word of mouth, people just seeing it, having the giant oversized cards on display front and center, especially some of the more interesting artwork like White Nova and Bob the Robot Bomb. Having those front and center is really eye-catching and grabbing for people to see what the game's actually about. I'm not even sure if Altered had oversized cards or not. Maybe they did for promotional stuff, but not like really big oversized cards. They're even giving those away for the event as some of the prize support. For 2 of the events, some of the oversized card, which was really cool. I didn't get one, unfortunately. I tried. I wanted to. But that was another big fear that I had, that like I would go to these events and I'd be the only person there. Thankfully, that wasn't the case. There was a lot more people there. People I talked to were very interested in the game, already had boxes and boxes of product already, very invested in the game, even wearing like Neuroscape t-shirt, Neuroscape hoodie, hoodies, had other Neuroscape merch from Gen Con, other promo cards from Gen Con. So people who were there were playing the game, they got into it, they got really invested, they did their research on it, learned the game, and they enjoyed it, and I think that's really great. Like I said, that's something that I really didn't see. You really don't see from a lot of other TCGs that especially the ones that I've seen. So I've played almost all of them. People getting that invested in learning like the rules and the game and like the developers and the people working on it. Even the stuff that I knew about from being in the Discord, because I was on the Kickstarter, so I had Discord access to the community very early on. Saw a lot of their, even the early development and beta testing that they went through to make a lot of the cards. I actually saw that process. I saw those cards being played and tested, and see the effects change over time. Was interesting that the devs were willing to even show that. Was very different, but also very open. That I appreciated about this game specifically. Um, but as I said before, this game is very similar to Magic. If you played Magic, you can easily play this. There are some key differences to this game that I'm still getting used to and learning to try to break my habit from playing Magic for so many years, and how I normally played Magic to this game being different. Um, I don't really have like a rule page or anything up, but like all the creatures essentially, the characters, what they're called in this game, um, they have haste. Everything has haste, and their effects also have haste. So like if you have a one cost character you play it on turn one, it can actually swing right away. Then the opponent doesn't even have anything to stop it. It gets through. That's very also similar in Magic. Um, but in this game, it's like every creature has haste. So in this game, the one thing I had to break the habit of is like you always have to leave up a blocker of some kind, because they can just drop, you know, a big ridiculous like 6'7" dude and then just swing at you. Like this chick is like a 6'5". She has haste, so if they have 5, um, they can play her. She comes down, she hits you for 6, and it's just like, oh, you didn't have a blocker up, so you just eat 6. Um, the 2 life totals is also like very unique and different, because you have essentially red health and you have blue health. I won't go too in depth on that, but the characters all do red or blue damage. That's signified by the number on top. This is the attack. This is their health. Um, so uh, she does red damage, and then there's this another character. This one does blue damage. There you go. And they have abilities. They all have haste, as I mentioned. This is their cost. This is the ability cost. This symbol is like the tap symbol, so you have to pay 1 and tap it. Your mana / ram is set up kind of like Riftbound / One Piece. You have a hard cap. You have 25, no more, no less. And then beginning your turn, the other interesting thing is that you either choose to get 2, or you can do a card draw from your deck and 1 from the ram bank, or you can do 2 draws. So you kind of have like the Star Wars Unlimited aspect where you can draw 2, or other TCG aspect where you can just draw 1 and get 1, or you have like the One Piece aspect, or the Rift aspect where you can get 2 mana, or ram in this case, or runes a turn. The player going first only gets 1 ram. You have no other option. You just have to take it, and then you can't draw. So that's how they balance out the first player inherent advantage, that you only get 1 ram and you don't get to draw anything. So that's also something they took that into consideration. A lot of TCGs don't take that into consideration, how strong first player advantage is in a lot of games. But it definitely makes for a very interesting game, and there's so many different effects and combos that I just wasn't aware of. There was a actual constructed event that I played in, which was today, well, Sunday when I'm recording this, right here, where we were just playing decks we built. I only had the 2 starter decks, but I modified them with the cards that I pulled over time. I was playing Hackers, which is the spy symbol. See, there's a hacker. No, she's a hacker right there. That symbol, you probably can't see it. I can't actually even blow this up on this, but that's their symbol. And like I died on like, what was it, turn 5, because the other guy was playing cybernetics, I think they're called. Put some equipment upgrade on the one guy that makes 2 copies of it when it swings, so I got hit for like 15. And it's like, yeah, I don't have a blocker, so you just have to take 15. And it's like, yep, that kills me. So there's those really big, ridiculous like magic combo power plays, but in this game they're a lot easier and a lot scarier because they can just come out of nowhere. And because everything has haste, it's like you really have to be prepared for it or leave something back so you just don't get hit for a lot out of nowhere, because that just ends games. Um, so that's been like the hard thing to learn. But the other thing that this game does is with the mainframe. Um, you, I don't want to say it's a leader mechanic because it's not really a leader. It doesn't really do anything on its own. But it is there. Because this game took uh tribal and synergy that Magic has, but actually made it a gameplay focal point, which I kind of like. So it rewards you for playing in theme, playing synergy, playing into your tribe. Because every character has a tribe. Even a lot of the other, I guess spells you'd want to call them, have tribes. Um, and so each tribe, each tribe has their own play style. But also, there's also mainframe slash leader cards for dual splits, because even some of the characters are two types. They're not just one. We don't have three type cards just yet, but we do have dual type cards. Like this cat is Mystic, and I don't know what the other one was. I think Beast, because it has like a paw print. So it's a dual tribe card. It doesn't really do anything gameplay wise other than for the tribal aspects of the game. Um, so this is like the example of the leader card slash, but in this game they're called mainframes, where if you have character type plus character type, you get a bonus effect when you do something. So that's really nice. And then you also have another one where like if you have double the amount of those characters on the board, you get a stronger bonus effect. This card is like, it doesn't attack, it doesn't tap for anything. It just gives you bonus effects based on what you're already doing, based on the cards that you're playing. And sometimes you won't even sometimes you won't have it be in position to trigger it. But that's based on the course of the game, and then sometimes you will have effects that you're trying to trigger it constantly. I actually won a game because I was able to trigger my hacker mainframe, because it does 1 damage to any target, or 1 blue damage to any target, and I actually had 2 hackers out, and I had to play a program to trigger it, I think. And it's like, okay, I was able to hit my opponent for exactly enough for game because of my mainframe dealing that 1 extra point to make it lethal. So it's definitely one of those type of things where it's like it can make or break a game using your mainframe, or having the right synergy in your decks. That way you can use your mainframe more often. The decks are 50 cards, similar to Star Wars Unlimited. 4 copies per though, not 3. So it's the smaller deck size with 4 copies. So I think that's similar to UVS. You can have 4 copies, and they're also 50 card decks minimums. So deck space can get tight when you want to include a lot of cards, because you can play 4 copies. So sometimes you just have to go 3 copies or something just to make deck room. You can't play cards on your opponent's turn. In this game, they're called swifts. And there's phases where you can play swift cards, so kind of like instants and magic, except that you can't play them at any point. But there are a lot of points where you can play them. There's very few points where you just can't play them. And I believe pretty much all the character abilities are also instants. But I think the tap ones you can use on your opponent's turn, but the ones that where you just have to generically pay, you can't, I don't think. But maybe you can. I forget. The rulings are still complex to the point where I don't know all of them. And even when we were playing today, there was a lot of rulings that came out where it's just like we didn't really know the answer. We thought we knew the answer, we really didn't know the answer. The game is still brand new, and so it's still that phase of like we're learning the rules and how to play this game correctly, and figuring out like what the meta for this game is going to be like. There is a sideboard, so there is side decking mechanics in this game, so that's another selling point. Side decks are only 12 cards for this game. They're not 15 or they're not 10. They're even number. They're 12. You also can side deck one leader card mainframe in this game. Because technically each deck would have like 2, maybe even 3 potential mainframes, but you can only side deck one of those. So technically you can have a side deck of 13 cards. Your mainframe gets its own unique side deck designated slot. That doesn't count against your other 12 cards in your side decks, so you can have one mainframe side deck. So that's also a little nice convenience for this game specifically, that you can essentially kind of side a leader. That's also very similar to UVS. UVS, you could also side your leader card, which is very unique to that game as well. But you can side deck as many as you wanted. I think they have to. I think they had to share the name or something. I don't even remember anymore. This game you can only side one. But without going too far into the mechanics, that's the basic gist of the game. I already have 2 decks built. I'm actually working on a potential third. There's at least one store in the area that seems like they're interested in the game, and we'll probably start running events for it. So that's another good thing, where I have somewhere locally where I can go that I can play. That's another big issue I had with Altered. I couldn't really play anywhere locally. There were no tournaments really here. But it looks like there will be tournaments here for this game, which I really like, and that'll be a good thing. And being able to actually play and play test, I would even be willing to go to, one day in the future, a regional for this game. I think the game is open enough and unique enough where it's like, okay, that could be a pretty fun experience. Where I would at least want to try it once if they ever had an official regional, or even if someone did their own like store regional, like even Nerd Rage, if they ran a regional for Neuroscape, I'd probably would go to it. I don't think they're gonna have as many people as they had for Riftbound, but I would still go just to check it out and see, play at that higher tier competitive level to see what the game is really like when you're playing against the meta, because that's how you get a real feel for the game, is playing in that tournament environment, especially multiple rounds against multiple people with different decks, and then seeing what the game is really like. That's what I want to experience for this game, just to see if I can really evaluate it. There are things that I'm still concerned about. It's the set release schedule. Don't really have any idea on that. They are working on set 2 already. That's a good thing, but I'm not sure if set 2 is going to be coming out in 3 or 4 months. That's where I'm kind of hesitant. Like, if there's only one set every few months or 6 months, or no time set for set releases. They are a very small team trying to make this game happen. So I do understand that, and I give them leeway on that. They don't even have as much money as even Altered had when they first started. Even though they kickstarted their game and was successful, there was nowhere near that much money. For them to have like a big budget production and have like huge teams working on it. So that is a concern. Because unfortunately with TCGs, it gets very stiff, especially if people figure out the format and find a tier 0 best deck, which the players always will. The format will slow to a crawl, and it will get really, really bad really, really fast, to the point where people won't want to play it, because whenever you go to a tournament, someone will be playing that deck, and you're going to lose to that deck consistently. Unless you're playing that deck, then you're trying to run 50-50 mirror matches each time you go to a tournament, and that takes people out of the game really, really fast. I hope there is a plan. They have a set, hopefully every 3 to 4 months, preferably 3 months. 4 month set cycles are still really, really bad. I still hate it. I hated it for Altered TCG. I also still hate it for Star Wars Unlimited. It's too much time between sets, and the format gets very stale very quickly. When there's that much time between sets, people figure things out very, very fast these days. Star Wars Limited formats are usually always solved within like the first month or 2 after a set release, and then it's just like, okay, now it's just staleness for 2 months until the next set comes out, and it's just like, that's such a long excruciating time, as opposed to every other game where you're only waiting 1 month, and then you're already heading into pre-release at the end of that month. But Star Wars Unlimited is like, okay, there's a whole another month, and then another half of a month till you get to the next pre-release, and it's just like, it's just so excruciating waiting that extra time for the set to finally, for the format to finally change. So that is a concern. It's a fairly minor concern as of right now, because obviously the game just launched, but it is a concern I do have for the future, that regular set releases will definitely benefit this game. They benefit any game, but it'll benefit this game if they have a plan or a timetable for their future set releases. Having that being undetermined or not decided or anything else is not a good thing. We are in the TCG renaissance where there's new TCGs coming out like every year, every month. Any new other TCG could be the next big thing to bump your TCG out of the limelight. And then that's kind of it. So you want to have constant set releases to keep the game fresh in people's memory, not the set sits for too long and the format gets stale and people kind of back off it, and then, oh look, a new TCG came out and everyone starts playing it. They don't come back to yours because they're having too much fun playing the new hotness. But yeah. So I will definitely be keeping an eye on this game. You may be seeing more videos from me on this game in the future for tournaments, even potential regionals in the future. Depending on what happens with the game, how the game develops. Hopefully, if you guys were interested in the game, you went to your own pre-release or event, got to play, got some cards. Hopefully, you also enjoyed the game. Hopefully, you liked it. So I just want to play the game more and see more combos and cards and interactions with this game. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Get a stack of cards sitting next to me that I have to go through to sort and figure out the next deck I want to build to try to play a little bit more and experience a little bit more. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As always, I appreciate all the support. What you think about the game, feel free to leave a comment below the video. And that's pretty much it for me. So until the next one, I'll see you guys next time.